Hey there, I'm Sean Collins, and I'm the esports reporter with the Dallas Morning News, covering the Dallas Fuel of the Overwatch League. Overwatch League play starts today, and I'll be in San Antonio covering the Fuel and the Outlaws tomorrow, which will be Friday. And I thought I'd just do my crystal ball pick'ems as well as just the first week of the West region right now. I'll get straight into it, but if you do enjoy these videos, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. This is kind of just like a side gig compared to my normal written reporting, but they're still kind of fun. Um, as far as the West, there are maybe three teams I feel really confident about making it. I could pick either the Gladiators, the Fuel, or the Rain. Those are the three teams that I feel really confident. You could also toss in the San Francisco Shock there, but anybody else, I could see some weird stuff happening. Um, just for the nature of last year, the Dallas Fuel, they made it to Hawaii a bunch of times. We'll go ahead and do them. For the East, the only team that I'm really that confident on would be Shanghai. It's an obvious pick, but, moving forward. For these, I do think the Glads win. I'm going to go 3-1. I think there might not be too many 3-0s this week, just because it's Overwatch 2 and teams are still learning and teams are still adapting to what's working, and I think we can see a lot of weird stuff. Moving on, I think that this could be a decent match. I'm going to go 3-2 San Francisco. And I think that this rivalry match is pretty nice. Atlanta and Florida had some pretty good matches last year, so I'm actually going to go 3-2 here again. I do think San Francisco wins this one 3-1. But going forward, Vancouver and Boston, I think Boston wins this one 3-1. I do think Vancouver can improve as the season goes on, but I think Boston might be a little bit better than people are expecting. I think Fuel win 3-1. I think Houston might have it tough with Piggy being their only tank. He's a good player, but it's a really tough matchup against either Fearless or Hanbin. So the Fuel are just going to win this one out of depth, and I think they kind of just have the Outlaws number. Washington versus Toronto. I think Washington wins this one. I really like their revamped roster. I think that Washington is still, going to have some things to prove. I can make this one a 3-2, but I do think that Toronto comes out on top. New York and Atlanta. I'm actually going to go kind of weird here. I'm going to say that New York recovers from their first match against the Gladiators. And maybe this is a bit of a hot take, but I think New York could be a decent team this season. I'm going to go and give them a 3-2, and this will be like a little bit of a learning moment for Atlanta early on. Gladiators Uprising, I think that this is going to be a good match, but I am going to go 3-2 Glads. I think that they start 2-0 this year. They kind of been a little bit shaky at the start of good seasons, but I do think that they have a good start this weekend. Titan Spitfire, I could genuinely flip a coin. But I'm going to go ahead and say that Vancouver gets the upper edge here. They win 3-1. Florida and Paris, I do think that that this is going to be a decently close matchup, and I could see either one of them winning, but I'm going to go ahead and say Florida wins 3-2. Dallas and Washington, I think Dallas gets another 3-1 win here. I don't think Washington's as good as Dallas, just overall. I think that, again, the Fuel's depth is going to put them in that same elite category with the Gladiators. Those are my two, S-tier teams in the West for now. Overall, all of Overwatch League, I think the Shanghai Dragons are the only S-tier team as of right now, but if we're doing just the West, Dallas and the Gladiators are my top two teams. Outlaws Defiant. This is a good matchup. I think that the Outlaws do get a win this weekend. They're not going 0-2. Toronto's a good team, but I think the Outlaws recover a little bit here. But those are my pick'ems. Again, if you like these kinds of videos, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment. I love the engagement, especially on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean Z. Collins. I tweet about the matches all the time. But here we go. These are my pick'ems for this week.